Sound like, yeah. You off for work?
Hold up. Let me get my notes up. Throw back like pencil crack. And I'm gonna win.
Get 2 tests, huh?
No. I don't play test.
One
I
test?
don't play no test.
One test, dog.
You don't know. You ain't supposed to hit it with that part of the pencil.
I didn't hit it. I just lined it up.
Alright, I'm just saying, line up.
Bring it down some like that.
Alright. That's a trick over high. Yeah, man. You been playing this at home?
Boy, I was pencil crack, boy. I was pencil crack king, boy.
You lining everything, you trying to hit the same goal.
Come on. It's
Oh man, fuck you. Oh, okay.
pencil crack king, big dog.
Thank you. I just that thing. Boy, I was saying, Mr. Brown holding it down. Nate, for short.
It's your boy Boogie. Good is what's happening with y'all. How y'all doing this lovely evening on this beautiful Sunday?
And I don't know if we should say the day of the week type stuff. Because think about it. We can do pre-records, and as long as we don't put a date or a time on it, they don't know when they got recorded. Learning. And I think it's essential that we record the learning process and the development process. Something, and I'm not bringing him up to make him a point of subject. If you look at Kevin Samuels' early videos, what looked like Poindexter standing against a white wall, and he did that for like maybe a year or two. Then you see the development of it, how it all turns. All of a sudden, you got this, studio set up with the lights and the desk and the suits, and he crafted his look over time. He didn't quit because he looked corny, or he didn't quit because he wasn't getting views. It's something he said, and I respect it. And I've heard other people say it. I don't like Steve Harvey, but I've heard him say it. You got to know when and how to reinvent yourself. And you can't be afraid to. So if you're critiquing, if I'm working on me, if I'm in here doing this, and I realize that, maybe I should hold my head up so the camera can see me, right? Because ultimately, if I'm sitting up here and this is how I'm comfortable talking, right? But as I critique myself, I say, well, you know what? This is how I need to be moving. And if I'm talking into the camera, let me talk into the camera. But I'm talking to you. So I would rather have a conversation with you versus having a conversation with the camera. Correct. But if I'm not willing to critique myself, if I'm not watching the content, or we're not watching the content to edit to say, you know what? And my brother said, oh, don't wear dark shirts, right? Somebody else told me, well, make sure you always got a haircut, and I didn't like that advice. So I take the advice from the brother saying, don't wear a dark shirt. But the person telling me, always keep a haircut, I don't take that advice.
Well, why you don't like the advice of always keep a haircut? I'm assuming they said it to mean always be groomed.
That's not how they meant it.
No.
I
mean, granted, I wasn't there, so
they were trying to criticize my hairline. My hair was falling out, and I got patches.
Well, if your hair falling out, you would keep a haircut.
That's my whole thing. Why am I keep cutting it if I'm trying to get it to grow?
Correct. I feel you. Nothing wrong with the polo hat.
Well, that's the whole thing. When you go to, we don't go to doctors. So you finally go to the doctor, and the doctor like, oh, that's not natural hair loss. Well, who's gonna tell you that, right?
It's stress.
They tell you it's stress. They tell you it's diet. They tell you it's lack of oxygen to the scalp, lack of blood circulation to the scalp. So if you think about lack of blood circulation, that one that he pointed out, your brain not getting enough blood. There's not enough oxygen in your blood, right?
Which in turn causes your hair not to grow.
While they told you hair loss was a natural thing, they were lying.
Yeah.
It's literally a symptom of a health issue that most of us suffer from. And that's the quality of air, lack of oxygen in our blood, and the quality of the water we drink. Lack of oxygen and nutrients in our water, right? So you were public school your whole life. They never tell you that. You go to college, they never tell you the quality of your air and the oxygen. Okay, so your lungs, right? They don't breathe for you. They process the air and put it into the blood for you, right? So if I'm having an issue, that issue will be connected to something lung related, right? If I'm saying I'm not getting enough oxygen, I would have to be focused. So I'm talking a lot, and I'm rambling into that subject I didn't want to, but it's just to say it's the same as the podcast. I'm learning and developing, I'm figuring stuff out, and I'm changing them as I see fit.
So with the podcast, it's a lot of learning on the fly because what I've noticed is when you go on YouTube and you type in how to start a podcast, nobody has one basic, direct way to start it. It's always coming from a place of how they started, what they learned, the do's and don'ts. You
Right.
feel me?
Right.
So it's the same with what you're saying in a sense. It's like they tell us one way, but as you grow and as you get older and life teaches you more and more and more, you start to learn a lot of stuff on your own. A lot of stuff that they told us previously don't make sense to me. You feel me?
Outdated and antiquated. These are the words that can be used to describe a lot of the stuff we were raised on. But
That's like, not to cut you off,
you got it.
we was talking about, I know we're getting off subject, but we were talking about medicine. And the guy at my job was telling me, he's like, hey man, y'all need to go get your checkups every so often and whatnot. And I was like, I do need to go get checked up because I haven't been checked up in a while.
Yeah.
I say, however, I'm not one to just run to the doctor every time I get sick because I feel like the medicines that we have today were not in place back then, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And those people lived to be 100 plus back in the day,
Well, how far back in the day?
like hundreds of years ago.
Because I want to point that out. And I want this podcast.
Well, hold on, let me finish first. But I said all that to say I'm not one to take a lot of medicine,
Right.
Because I've never experienced a pill that healed me from something. It always temporarily fixed the issue, and then when that pill wore off, I needed to take another one. So I don't think the hospitals and the medical industry is not in they're not in the healing business. They're in the temporarily fixing your problem so you could come back and buy more medicine to temporarily fix your problem.
And I completely agree with that. And talk about not going to the doctor, and then you finally start going. And I have sons, my boys grew up, but it's not till I had a daughter, and I see she points things out about you, and the daughters take care of you inherently for some reason, even if they don't know they're doing it. And it made me go to the doctor. Then I go to the doctor, and it starts, obviously, it triggers something. I don't know if it's age or what. You start researching all this stuff that you thought you knew, and you find out it was a lie. So it not even a lie except for old science. It was theoretical science even, right? And so if I'm basing my health off of everybody's created the same, everybody needs the same thing, wants the same thing, has the same thing going on in their body, I'm wrong. If I'm basing it off of what we learned in the 4th grade, all humans are pink under the skin, everybody's the same, you're wrong. Because then you find out the diet changes race to race, in environment to even community. So living in the South versus living in Colorado, high in the mountains. The things you'd consume and the way your health would be affected. Like I talked to this one guy.
I think you gotta think too. So living in Colorado is different from living in Texas or living in New Orleans because of the high elevation. You know what I'm saying? So they live comfortably in that environment because they were born and raised in that type of environment.
Let me finish what I'm telling you though.
Oh, all right, my bad.
So, and just keeping that in mind, what pointed that out to me along my life is I knew this older guy, not older, but the same age, look old, right? Look old. Look like what he'd been through. And he moved to Colorado. He moved to Colorado healthy. Hadn't seen him. Seen him like a year later. He came back. He was messed up. Shoulder and like he told us. I said, what happened? He said, I went there and I started having immune system issues, like immune deficiency issues and different type of health issues. Because guess what? You were already suffering from a lack of oxygen. And now you went somewhere where the air is even thinner. So your body's now shutting down. You might have MS even, right? Multiple sclerosis is basically the immune system attacks the body, the organs. You may have that developed from just going somewhere with even less oxygen to consume. Because he smoked. He's a pack-a-day smoker. Smoked weed like come up with the same conditions as most of us. You don't realize it until you change that environment. He go up there, he damn near died.
You mean he smoked a pack of cigarettes?
Packing cigarettes a day and damn near died.
That's it right there.
He damn near died. And it's like saying, he's like, well, I don't think that's it because, my partners up there smoke too and they good. I'm like, yeah, but your partner grew up there. He was born there. He started smoking at 12 there.
So your partner's habit adapted to his living
body, his body
accustomed to the
environment. So the health issues you suffer in that environment, he won't even understand.
My point exactly.
So, and that's to say, and that's what I was trying to say before you cut me off is, I don't want this podcast to be so structured into, this subject and this subject. I like it to flow like our conversations flow naturally. And have always flown naturally, right? But you think about it from the sense of developing and growing. So though I want it to flow as a natural conversation, subject is flowing, we put structure to it because we want people to be able to follow the conversation. See what I'm saying? Now I'm looking at it like, what else can be done to make it more of a mix show, right? Because the YouTube channel is essentially going to be a network. And so you're going to have Nate Boogie, but then you might have another show that's just all about religion, or another show that's all about school and curriculum, another show that's just young mothers talking about their experience. Only because I think the opportunity exists now that hasn't existed ever in history. You can create your own television network. Tubi, you have all the tools. Like, you see what I got here. I got every type of recording equipment, every type of equipment they said I needed to have to be productive and successful independently. I got it. Then you realize all that's cute. And if you don't have a network, if you don't have a team, if you're working alone, you burn out. But ultimately, we can set the tone for whatever we want to do. When we were young men, that didn't exist. That's hell no. Like, you had to write numbers on your hand, and you had to write directions on paper, and you got lost, you was lost.
Yeah, I was telling the youngsters at the church. I said, man, y'all got it easy. Y'all got cell phones. You can just put whoever female number you get in your phone. I said, back when I was coming up, we had to carry a. Well, what we did was we took one sheet of loose leaf paper and folded it up.
Yeah.
And we kept an ink pen in our pocket. And you couldn't just walk around with a cheap ink pen.
No,
you needed an ink pen that was good. Yeah, facts. You want that cheap one that you can bust all your pockets.
I had some inked up pockets.
So we was getting numbers, the Super Fell, Team Summit.
I grew up real poor. We ain't go to none of that stuff. Like, y'all grew up little
poor.
You
ain't need no money to go to no Team Summit.
That's how poor we was. We couldn't go to free events.
Yeah, that was poor, big dog.
We couldn't afford a free event. I told one dude that said, we were poor, we didn't play park ball.
I ain't know nobody who couldn't afford.
Look what he said. But park ball ain't cost money. You just had to show up. I said, see, that's what spoiled me. You didn't realize you had to buy cleats and pants and all pads and pay for the insurance and whatever else you had to pay for. My mom had 4 boys. So nobody gets to play ball at the park because we can't afford for 2 people to be at the park and pay for back to school. That's why I wrote it on here, is because it's around that back to school time. That back to school, because my birthday's July 28th, right before back to school. I never got gifts. If I got a gift for my birthday, it was my school clothes.
So your birthday gift was good. Your back to school stuff was good.
What? That's why I'm so smart. I used to get books and stuff. Here's another book. But it's just to say that you don't know what that parent's going through to make it happen. All you know is the children ain't at the park playing ball. The child don't know we not there because though she might be able to afford me, she can't afford all 3 of us. And she know if I go, he gonna go and he gonna go. Right? So you look at this type of stuff, and as we got older, we start hustling for our own, whatever we want, and start paying for the stuff we wanted. But it's like, it took me to be an adult to realize, no, my mama was really hustling. She was really piecing it together the best she could because we didn't have the internet. Right? You couldn't just get on the internet and find opportunities. You couldn't just say, let me go get it like this or get it like that. Now
you didn't get coupons to your phone. You had to cut them out.
Clip coupons.
Yeah, you had to clip them out.
A lot of that type of stuff, right?
I remember my mom was walking. You remember the Superstore?
Yeah.
My mom was walking in the Superstore, the one on Manhattan. I think it's like Michael's or something, like Hobby Lobby or something.
It's a gym, a Hobby Lobby, and something else.
And I was I was clowning. I'm talking about I used to be the rib king. It was me. It was Don Keller and who else? I don't want to say Darwin, but Darwin sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But me and Don used to
What Darwin?
chop.
Okay.
Yeah. So we used to go at it all the time.
So Darwin I ever met.
The only man I ever met named Darwin. And I no disrespect, I just can't bring myself to call that man Chopper because I knew him. Yeah. So I don't talk about him as from an artist standpoint. I talk about him from a close friend standpoint.
What?
But yeah, my mama was walking in the superstore, and me and Diane had ripped the piss out some people at home, and we was later on that day when me and my mama was in the superstore. I saw them boys in the cereal aisle. But my mama had like 18 goddamn books. My mama used to keep a book, and she used to take the coupons and slide them in the little plastic divider. Lord, I forgot that even existed. Yeah. So we coming down the aisle with the book, and I said, "Oh, the books!"
Yeah, we have to piss out you, boy.
And the boy, I said, "Ooh, boy, God, they about to get me." But I felt embarrassed because back then, like how they do now. Like, I'll tell you straight up, oh, I'm about to go spend your food stamp. Back then, they kind of looked at you sideways when you said you had food stamps. That wasn't, that was frowned upon. Like, yeah.
Because we would buy them. My mom got kicked off food stamps.
But that's your mom. And then, back in the day, food stamps was the paper, they had the paper money. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the card. Yeah, so it was in books. So, you go out, you go to the store.
What you know about taping and fucking food stamp together, man?
You put out that food stamp to pay for that cold drink. They about to cut up on you. Boy, I know you ain't ripping me, boy. You done just pulled out $2 in food stamp.
And you get no change.
Right,
no matter what you buy. It could literally be 70 cents. You gave him $1. Ain't no change, Playboy. You ain't getting 30 cents because you gave me $1 food stamp. I think that was a hustle. I think, honestly, knowing what I know now, hindsight being 2020, being grown man, knowing there's way more other people on that type of social, EBT type stuff than black people. I say they should have never made it a food subsidy where you could only buy food from it. It should have always been buy whatever you can need for your house. And the reason why I say that is because that's what they're doing anyway. They cheating the children, and they're going in a system to where they're not just cheating the children out of having healthy food or good food in the house or solid meals. The children really think they're poor. They don't realize their parents are just making bad decisions. They really think they're the right.
So
you think you ain't got it. You think y'all hurt.
Let's stay right there for a second. I think it's a huge difference in being poor and you just making bad decisions.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I don't know, let me rephrase that. There's a majority of people out here right now who are living check to check, but by money standards, like by income standards, technically they're really not poor. They're just making the wrong decisions with the money that they're bringing in.
A series of poor decisions is what I like to think of it as. And that series of poor decisions stemmed from how they were raised. Ultimately, we're looking at broken communities and broken family structures that we did not break no. But if you didn't have a strong enough mind or strong enough support system, you could not get out of that, right? Like when I left New Orleans, I felt like I was escaping New Orleans when I graduated high school. Because I had already got caught up on some murder charge stuff and somebody got hit by a car. This was in the 11th grade. I joined the military 11th grade something because I thought I could leave. They lied to me. Oh, you can join at 17, but you can't leave till you're 18.
Correct.
So I joined early trying to escape some charges, thinking they had me pinned dead to rights. But this before cell phone cameras and all the doorbell cameras. So they ultimately could not finger me, right? But if it wasn't for that, I was trying to run away. And it took me a minute to come back to the city because of what I had got into. And it wasn't no me with no dudes in the streets. It was me with the police type stuff. So you're talking about like leaving the city and then realizing I could eat spinach raw and having a salad bar with cauliflower and broccoli and beets and all these nuts and different dressings. I'm talking about leaving a place where you felt you were in a corner, back against the wall, and instantly being somewhere where everybody else is crying and trying to adjust. And you're like, damn, we got options. They literally sit up there crying, man, this food is. And I'm like, wait, you telling me I can get chicken and steak on the same plate?
Hold on. Just quick shout out to all the people. We on live right now. I'm on live at Lance _ Polo Ralph Lauren _ Malone. And Nate, let them know what's your Instagram.
Mr. Brown _ life agent. I need to change that, but I don't really know how because I'm so much more now.
It's called settings.
It's settings. I'm gonna go through it, but you got to think. Like when I started it, I was a life agent. I thought I was supposed to just sell life insurance. Now this family banking and this private banking thing. It's like, wait, no, you're an asset manager.
Hold on, because I don't want you to jump into that.
I won't.
We got a segment for that.
Okay.
And it's just you.
When?
At the end of this.
That's why we need to have meetings before these.
I sent you a text message. I sent you a text message with the notes.
I got it, dog.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm always ready when they come to that subject, though.
All right, so let's dive into it.
You ain't never played dice or food stamps?
Hell yeah.
Okay, just check it.
I love it.
This is stuff I never thought about, or you don't think about now, but to think about this stuff when as a child, like I remember my mama cussing the bus driver out because he passed us up one day. And literally the next day he passed us up again.
The question would be why he passed y'all up twice. What y'all was doing on the bus to make that man pass y'all up?
It's 4 of us and my mom, and we would walk to the bus stop. And quite often, my little brother got to go back to the house, use the bathroom. He dragging his leg. You know what I'm saying? So the bus driver see us coming. You never heard of what? Same way regular dice go. You put the money up, there ain't no change. They ain't breaking. She never heard of playing dice or food stamps before. She crazy.
Yeah, she cool.
Oh, Gabby, the truth.
Yeah.
Let's be real. But all I'm saying,
hold on, she's stunned because she old enough.
She old enough.
She old enough to remember when we had.
She old enough to know.
Yeah. How you got it?
She wasn't poor. She.
You didn't have to come up poor. You went to school. They was hustling in that area.
I don't know what happened in there. I went to Eric and broke y'all vending machine. That was me.
Man, when you went there, I don't even remember
some school. We got us talking about it.
I graduated one time.
I graduated in 01.
I had to go to summer school.
Man, I don't even want to talk about that. Boy, I got expelled 3 years in a row. I got expelled from high school 3 years in a row, graduated on time with extra credit and honors.
So the only thing saving me, my mama, I got suspended.
I was a teacher.
Look, I got suspended so much at Eric. So you only get 4 suspensions. The 4th is the expulsion. You get 3 suspensions and the expulsion. I kept getting so many suspensions that the last time my mama came up there and Miss Walker, I don't know if Miss Walker still worked there. Miss Walker told my mom, she said, baby, we hiring. You want a job here?
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. And my mama said, you know what? Why not? Shit, I'm up here.
I'm up here every week.
Miss Walker said, you up here at least twice a week. For real. And that's how my mama became a substitute teacher at her. But that's a story for another podcast.
Oh, but let me tell you my quick one. I went to West Jeff my 10th grade year, and it was wild. The rep for the implemented uniforms. And so my mom joined the band booster club because she saw, I had a little behavior issue. She wanted to get involved to try to help me do better. She did all this promoting, campaigning to get money for the school. She got them new instruments. She got them new uniforms ordered. She was marching in nothing, right? She got us temporary uniforms.
At West Jeff?
At West Jeff. That's when he
got Jubilee.
Listen to me. That's when he got the slacks and the sweaters to match. That was their one practice outfit. And then she went around and got full band outfits, right? This is my mama petitioning. The whole time I get expelled from school in December. But she can't stop now. Because she done got progress. She got motion. Ain't nobody else got that kind of motion out of the school board to get the school new instruments and new uniforms the whole time. I ain't even in the band no more. My mama going to parades and marching with these people. My mama sitting up there going to the booster meetings and bringing snacks, and I'm not even allowed in the building. Literally had a restraining order against me. I could not enter the band's building. That's sad. I know this now. Hindsight being 2020. I know now I was an embarrassment. I was doing unnecessary embarrassing shit to my mama.
I don't look at my situation as embarrassing.
Shit,
I look at mine as, mine, you can say what you want, but I got you a job. You know what I'm saying? I got you that job. And my mama just, I don't want to say just, I think my mama been retired about 6-7 years now.
I ain't got a school crowd. Let me tell you that for now.
Like, I literally, when my mama got that, I think my mama got that job in like 96, 97. You know? And my mama literally just retired like maybe 6-7 years ago.
Hey, been working out for 30 years.
And everybody know my mama. They know my mama before they know me. When they hear my name, they say, your mama Miss Malone? And I be like, well, if my last name Malone, of course my mama would be Miss Malone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, everybody know my mama. Your mama was the sweetest lady I ever met.
Gabby said they love Kennedy too much to get put out. They love Kennedy too much to get put out. JFK. Look, and I'm gonna tell you what's real. The problem was I grew up in the hood. My brothers were in regular classes and weren't the best students. They were pretty bad. But I was in honors classes and I had a hustle mentality. So you're putting me in an honors class with a bunch of geeks and sneaks and bullshit teachers. And honestly, I got real life questions because I'm already hustling. I'm already working. I'm already getting a check. I'm already seeing FICO and all this other stuff come out of my check. Like, not FICO, what's the other one?
State tax,
Federal tax. Say that, the federal and the state tax, right? And you sit up there like, I'm asking real questions. And this was like the 10th grade, the lady. Literally, we were like a week before the semester was over. This lady got me expelled from school.
You ask them people, who is FICO?
Who's taking all my money? And how do I get it back? Now check this out. I got expelled from school. I went to my mom's job. She owned a beauty salon. And I saw how hard she was hustling to keep the salon together. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, I do a lot of stuff around here to help. But it's only because I'm expelled from school that I get to see how much needs to be done here. Because when I'm at school, I don't see you having to go do the lawn, wash the towels, and bring the towels back, and clean the whole shop up, and organize the chemicals while doing clients, while answering the phone, while booking appointments, while, see what I'm saying? And my mom was everything in her business. Every time she tried to hire somebody, they didn't appreciate the opportunity, so she wound up by herself. Literally, I'm right now doing what I said I wanted to do then when I got kicked out of school. I said I want to do a business by help people in business. My mom made a struggle. And at that time, I didn't know much, but let me wash hair, let me put the chemicals up for you, let me go get and I was really trying to do whatever I could do because I was punished for like 3 years straight. I ain't gonna lie. I was punished for so long, I didn't even know I was supposed to go outside, like go to dances and like, I didn't know I was supposed to go to,
You was locked up.
I was locked up. Yeah. To the point where when I finally went to like a birthday party somebody was having, they literally said, we thought you were in jail. I'm like, 16. I'm like, but you ain't in jail. Everybody said you got locked up and you went to jail. I said, no, man,
You was in jail.
I guess, but I was stacked. I had money.
If you was away from the system for 3 years,
I had paper. I worked. I hustled. And like I said all that to say,
they get money in jail too.
They get money in jail. But you talking like just going through all of that to wind up doing exactly what if I had a mentor? I'm not going to even say I had a father. If we'd had more structure in the black community, you'd be able to acknowledge aptitude. Because it's not like I was a dumb kid in dumb classes and all of a sudden I realized, oh, I'm smart, I can count. No, I was always an honest. I always showed potential.
All right, so boom. Before we go too far.
Yeah, she still do that, but she pick up clients. She pick about it.
Your expulsion kind of dives into one of the subjects that we have, one of our topics for the day, which is making emotional decisions.
God save me, boy.
So let's expound on that for a second. I'll give you the floor.
I'm glad you brought that up. And it's crazy how the conversation segues in, because that's what I was doing. I had all this testosterone. I'm big as a man. Like I've been 6'1" since I was 12. I wore a size 13 since I was 12. And no guidance. So the only person you see having an argument is your mama. And guess what? You go home with her every day. So in her mind and from her point, she won the argument. She in the right. She could be dead wrong. She could be dead to rights wrong. But because that's your only influence, that's the only way you know how to respond to problems or to respond to any type of aggression is emotionally. So to have a man in your life is not to have a man there to say, oh, he's hands on, just to be able to have an example of what a man looked like in an argument. See, my mom got married when we was like 13. I think somebody told her what was up. Because she got married to her husband, and in my mind, she never loved him. But all of a sudden, we own a home. We live in a house. We live in a nice community. We moved to the community. It's cats driving cars, and I'm like, I'm gonna steal your car. I see the little kid, 15 driving. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna steal his car next week, right? But the whole idea is like he brought structure to our life that wasn't there. But I believe it was too late for him to bring discipline. So all these emotional decisions, he already knew he had his own kids. He wasn't about to get involved.
So
in it.
not to cut you off, but to intervene for a second. Um, you said it was too late. He brought structure, and in a way, he did bring discipline as well, because you wouldn't, for you to understand that he brought structure, it took discipline to get to where he had gotten.
Right.
It took discipline for him to uh, obtain the things that he had, because he had to sacrifice to get it. However, you said it was too late. I'm assuming that it was too late because you, as a 15-year-old Nate, had already
As a 12-year-old,
a 12-year-old,
I was already off the porch.
with a man's mentality, or what you thought was a man's mentality.
Exactly. I was already hustling, hoping to try to help my mom around the house and to have things, because we had stints in the household. We just didn't have meat. My mom talking about we vegetarian. No, we can't afford meat, right? And it's not. And I'm gonna tell you, life is a series of decisions, good decisions or poor decisions, but ultimately decisions. And so my mom was the victim of a lot of her own decisions, but I feel like she always adapted well. Like it's like these are your consequences, and she turned those consequences into something. Right?
But she had to, because she had 4 boys, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Boys.
Yeah, and her catchphrase was, I don't know how to raise a man, but I can make sure you ain't no bitch. Straight up.
Think about that for a second. Think about how deep that is.
I think about it a lot.
That's deep, dog.
It's the deepest thing ever because she's successful in that way. She did what she was supposed to do in that way. Like I say, hindsight being 2020, now that I consider it, it's like, yeah, she gave us everything we need. All she had to give us was work ethic, because she hustled. So that's what we got from her, that hustle, that work ethic, and how to pray. But as a grown-ass man, right now, 41, with everything I got going on, if I could give my children anything, those are the only 2 things I feel they need.
All right, so
work ethic and know how to pray.
Let's stay on that right quick. Because my thing is, everybody looks at success as financially stable. In a way, before I make this statement, let me ask this question. Your mama had 4 boys, you included.
Yeah.
How are all 4 of y'all doing today?
I don't want to speak on that.
All right. Now, I'm not asking that question from are y'all all just ran down ruggedy? Y'all ain't got nothing.
The reason why I don't want to speak to that, because I feel like in life, most people and everyone's a product of their own decisions.
Uh-huh.
So for all 4 of us to come up in the same household under similar conditions because we're all close in age. So it's not like, oh, one's 15 years old and everybody else, he did something different. No, we all was in the same house, fighting the same battles, seeing the same raggedy dudes come in and out, whatever, right? But once you became an adult male, that's why I said God saved me. Because I made some of the same poor decisions some of my partners and brothers made. But
that's you making the same.
I have never suffered the consequences
of your actions.
I'm not going to say of my actions. I'm just saying I always plan my escape.
So my thing is,
I always make sure I can get away before I do it.
Successfully, your mama gave y'all, like, y'all saw, even though y'all saw what y'all saw in the household, y'all mama always put y'all first.
No.
To the best of her ability?
I'm not going to say that she always put us first. I'm going to say she did what she could do to the best of her ability, right?
Well,
because
yeah, she tried her best to put y'all first.
As a child, you don't know what you're seeing, but as an adult, when you size it up, you're like, damn, I ain't judging you. I love you, but why would we buy a $300 vase in a house where we don't have no cell phone? We don't have no phone. Why? My mom used to make poor financial decisions, just like most women. She's very impulsive financially. The difference is, she did hair. So whereas a one woman might be in the 90s, the 80s, they're impulsive financially, but they don't have no internet. They can't go running randomly shopping. They have to go to the store to spend money. My mom did hair. So every day she cash flowed like a drug dealer. So every day she had money. This is what I'm trying to tell you. While we thought we were poor, we were the victims of poor decisions.
So that goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say victims. We were the
It
results
wasn't
of
that y'all
poor
wasn't
decisions.
poor because income wise, y'all was really way above the
Income
water.
wise, if she would have had, and that's why I go back to family structure being everything. I don't care about you being in love and getting married. You don't understand help is more powerful than love. And at the end of the day, what she needed was a disciplinarian that she could not be because we stopped feeling the whippings at 8. We just used to go in the room and laugh, right? But your wrist hurt, your blood pressure high, everything else trying to discipline us. But if you'd have had a man now, you'd have had to put way less effort and it got way more response discipline wise.
So look at it from this point. You know that today.
Yeah.
You didn't know that back then.
No.
But what you saw was your mama hustling, right?
Yeah.
So
Number one hustler.
So if you say your mom is the number one hustler, at what point in time does she have time to stop and think about man, help, structure? In her mind, she is the man. She is the help.
Being 2020.
Yeah.
Right? She thought, I don't need no man. I'm the mom and the dad. I now, as a grown man, see where that was a flawed structure. Especially, I saw it as she did herself a disservice. Because as a grown man, I've been with women and I expect them to be my mom. Not in the way of not having resources or not having help, but she got it done. We kept a clean house. Straight up. And everybody had a job. It was no opportunity to say I didn't know or I couldn't do it. We don't take excuses. We take results. Right? And that's what I learned from growing up the way we did, because you didn't have an opportunity to say, oh, well, I forgot to clean the tub because I know you about to get your ass beat. Right? You ain't gonna forget to clean the tub no more. I didn't need a whipping to learn that.
Yeah, but then you gotta think your mama not raising 4 girls.
Hey, baby.
Your mama raising 4 men.
No, but I respect it now. Like I said, hindsight being 2020, she didn't realize it. But there's a lot of pedophiles out here. There was a lot of predators out here. If your child didn't know how to be masculine and aggressive, he was most likely being baited to be taken advantage of. You feel me? And I really believe that now that we can see the world, we understand that a lot of those over-aggressive tactics our parents used because they had to. Didn't have her cutting herself up all the time. She picks at stuff. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like as a grown man, I now can respect the whole situation as I see it and understand it. But I also know what I want for my children. And so when I'm building what I'm building, even me moving away from New Orleans and staying away from certain environments and people, it's because I know who I am. It's like I'm not going around you because I'm scared of you. I'm scared of me. Like the people I got a problem with. I don't not go around them because no, I don't come around y'all because I went to the military, and when I was in the military, the one thing we used to do is act first. Like, why we gonna talk about a fight? No, fight first, and then talk about it later.
So, all right, let's expound on the making emotional decisions. I feel like we as a race, culture, we as a race, we make a lot of our decisions emotionally because that's what we saw coming up.
We were being baited by emotions, even now in politics and in everything else. They use our emotions against us in such a hostile, violent way. They use it like a weapon.
Yeah.
Right? So even with this presidential election, they're using emotions against us to where logic don't even set in for them to say, hey, we never got to pick our candidate.
But you know and it just it makes sense to me now, but emotional decisions are important to those in business because emotional decisions are profitable.
Well, impulsive decisions in
Always.
sales. And in sales, most of sales and most dollars are spent emotionally. To feel good, to feed your ego, to make somebody like you.
So look,
That's just key to knowledge.
There's a lot of people in the cemetery right now in that coffin. A lot of them died based on their.
Somebody told me they cremate everybody, and they just make you think they put them in the.
True. I mean, if I'm dead, I don't care.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know whether you're cremated or
Saving the bones for.
Yeah, I ain't about to come back. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to come back and tell you something about it.
I'm going to the king. Bitch, what you say to my body?
A lot of those murder victims, they fell to the
Emotional
accusers, not the accuser, but the person who applied that to them. They fell to their emotional decisions.
Most of our young black men are in jail for lack of discipline and emotional decisions. The lack of discipline obviously leads to them making emotional decisions, but it's like saying, dude, you killed somebody over a girl. Dude, you killed somebody over. You killed somebody over he bumped into you. You killed somebody over he looked at you crazy. You killed somebody over whatever you killed them over. Now, we seen this in New Orleans. We had a rash of that over the past 4 years. It was almost like every 2 weeks or every month we was hearing about a new person, young person, under 21, that was killed, and it's usually a good kid.
Did I ever tell you what me and my wife saw?
No.
At the China Doll, well, no, not out in New Orleans, but out here.
Yeah, the China Doll out here?
Yeah, it's not like the China Doll in New Orleans, though. That's more like China Dog. So, quick story. Me and my wife literally watched somebody get killed. Yeah. And I ran the murder. Like, we literally sitting in the parking lot, waiting on our food, and I'm giving my wife a play-by-play up until that man got shot and died.
What?
Yeah. So, long story short, it was an accident, right? China Doll, the restaurant is here, and we're in the parking lot, and the street is right there. So it was an accident right in front of the China Doll. It was an older couple versus a young guy. The young guy was in this champagne-colored Impala. Now, before I go further, I will say I feel like the young guy was in the right. However, the young guy was mouthing off. He was mad. I think he had a female in the front. It looked to me she could have just been fat. But it looked like she was pregnant. Yeah. I know one thing, me and my wife not about to get out the car and go find out. Right. You know what I'm saying? But from where me and you sitting, we could look right here and see the whole picture. The only thing we can't see is when he runs, like when he goes to the truck, because of course he's on the other side of the truck. But he mouthing off at the lady. You know, like, that's right, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Just fussing. Him and the lady going back and forth. The young guy.
That's how I know he was wrong. You can't tell me he was right.
Hold on, let me get there. The young guy's girl gets out. When she gets out, and I see her, and I see the baby, I'm like, whoa, that's why he mad, because he got hit from behind.
You done risked my baby.
Yeah, so I can understand why he a little hostile. You know what I'm saying? The whole time he fussing with this lady in his truck. I'm talking about after 10 minutes, bro. This man get out the truck. And I guess he must have had enough of him fussing with the lady. You know what I'm saying? And he inserts himself into the back and forth or whatnot. I'm telling my wife, I say, ooh, it's a man involved. I say, that little dude about to get beat up because this little Mexican dude looks swollen. You know what I'm saying? So they fussing back and forth. The short Mexican guy, they both look Mexican. You know what I'm saying? But the shorter guy, he cocky. Like he looked like he lift weights. The young guy looked like he just smoked cigarettes and weed and pop pills on. So There's just a fight about to happen. The young dude not about to take no L. You know what I'm saying? Because he know this dude can whip him.
Yeah.
The swole dude tell him something. And when whatever he tell him, the young guy say, I can hear him clear as day. He say, yeah, and walk to his car. When he walked to the car, he opened the driver's seat. I'm looking at my wife. I say, Big, go inside and see if the food ready. Because in a minute, they about to have to block this off. Yeah. She said, what you talking about? I said, that boy went to his car. He stooped down by her driver's seat. Yeah. And he stood up. Already strong. And he put himself in between his door and the driver's seat. And he faced that man. I say, I don't know what he telling him, but what his body posture is saying, if you come at me, you about to catch something.
You should have stayed in the car for one. I should have told your old lady to shut up for two.
Now, hold up. We in the car. We in the car. Me and my wife, we looking. I said, Big, go check on the food. She had time to go back inside, check on the food. The food was ready. She come back in the car. She said, they still fussing. I said, Big, if that short man go toward that boy in the car. Now, that's why I say I feel like it's self-defense.
Right.
Because the boy didn't move from his car door. He stayed at his car. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to come to you with this pistol.
I'm not the aggressor.
But I'm showing you I got a pistol. And if you come at me, I'm going to put something in you. I don't know what he told that little short Mexican dude. I saw the dude charging at him. I said, baby, let's go. As we driving on,
you don't love your life if you charge at a young man.
I didn't stay long enough to see if he died.
Let me tell you this, and this is what
but I read it in the news, he got killed.
The value of having examples, mentorship, isn't stressed enough. Because what line am I skipping? How much further can I get? Versus me going to learn this hard-ass lesson, and me respecting you enough to ask you, you give me the answer, and I go apply what you teach me.
All right, so look, I feel like they both, all of them lost. Yeah, because the young dude probably sitting in jail, you know what I'm saying, until his trial. Because this, I think this happened last year or year before that.
But everything's on film, and as long as you can show me,
that's what I'm saying.
As long as you can show him charging at me, I'm getting out.
I don't know if it was on film because it was,
and I might defend myself.
It was in the media. You know what I'm saying? However, what I'm saying is, bro, you could still be living if you just shut up and wait till the police come.
And that's where I go back to this emotional.
Young dude, hold up, young guy, he could still be living if you don't start arguing in the first place. Because one thing for sure, if your girl could get out the car and walk to you and check on you and not be in the limp stage, in the limp position or hurting, she fine, bro. They hit you from the back.
That's why I go back to the mentorship kid. That's why I brought that up. Because if he'd had someone in his life that he trusted, he'd already had that conversation. Because I already had this conversation with my son. I have all kind of weird ass. I tell my son so much stuff. I know he don't remember it all, but it's like saying situational awareness.
I told him
when this situation happened, I want that voice in the back of your head. My daddy said, when this happened like this, if somebody get beef in the back, stay in the car when the cops come, shit on myself. Roll out the car and shit on myself. If somebody
the shit on himself.
And anybody listen to this, if you're in a vehicle accident and you're hit from the back, maybe you're not fine, maybe you are. Stay in the car until the police come, and when the police come, shit on yourself. Have the police put it in the police report, and you go to the hospital.
What if you ain't got the shit though?
I apologize. I can shit at any time.
Yeah,
I can just squeeze one out right now if you want one.
You want one? You want one? I give you one right now. No, I'm playing.
No, I'm not saying that you have to actually physically shit on yourself.
I'm not gonna shit on myself because more than 100 times out of 10, I'm in polo and I'm not shitting.
But let me finish what I'm saying to you though. In this situation, that situational awareness, because I'm trying to get the most out of the insurance company, and I know that you have to pay me the max if I lost control of my bowels during this accident. I only know that from experience. I don't know that from somebody telling me. I know that from going through it and them asking me this question. Did you lose control of your bowels? You say your lower back hurt. Did you lose control of your bowels? My stupid ass. No. When all I had to do was say yes, and with no proof, this insurance company now has to pay me the max available. Right? Nobody tells you that because they don't know to tell you that if you don't have mentorship. Him sitting in that car and getting into this argument with this grown man who decides, wait, be quiet, let me get out and tell this young boy something. That old man probably ain't have no guidance. Because if he had any sense, he'd have said, babe, back this thing up and let's pull off.
He can't pull off because he hit that man from the back.
If we in an accident where I can't pull off, I understand.
And hold up, another thing. It's 5 o'clock traffic.
Yeah, it's situational awareness. You're not going nowhere.
Anybody who listening to this podcast, we are in Houston at 5:15 in the afternoon or evening, and we on Antoine and Tidwell.
Look, I'm saying this. I'm saying this from a tactical place. That's all I'm speaking from, a tactical place. So if you can't pull off and you're in the wrong and your paperwork right, sit down. I feel like someone gets in those situations because their paperwork's not right. Something wrong with their paper, something wrong with their insurance. Because I got good insurance. I be hoping somebody swipe me. I be hoping I can lay on the ground and act like, oh man,
that's why you don't get swiped.
Well, I drive in my rear view and my front. I drive like an air traffic controller. And I can tell you what's going on a mile up the road. But ultimately, mentorship is key. I realized a lot of the things I went through in life is because I had nobody to tell me any different, right? Nobody to show me any different. An example would be when my son was diagnosed with cancer. When I went and talked to the older people in my family, I loved them, but all they told me to do was pray. And my response was, what made you think I stopped praying? When the real advice would have been, hey, where are you working at? What type of insurance they have on that job? Okay, go qualify, go sign up for their insurance policy. Turn around in another month, go make a claim on your son having insurance. Listen to him. Let me finish what I'm telling you.
I'm going to let you finish, but you got to take into consideration what if they didn't know.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you don't have a community that knows, that you don't have mentorship there to tell you anything, and then the people you have there don't know. They don't know. They don't have this type of intellect. Like my uncle, he as far as I know, he worked as a janitor, then he became a pastor. He been a full-time pastor the past 20 years. 30 years maybe.
He got paid more than being a pastor in general.
Oh, I know. But this is why I go back to saying, when I come ask you about this situation, when my son's been diagnosed with this very rare cancer that kills most of the people that have it, and I'm working this job at this plant, and I make decent money, but then the plant lays me off. If you would have been a working man involved in the workplace dealing with OSHA, you would have told me, hey, go file a lawsuit. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. Hey, nephew, would they let you go? No, write your circumstances down and go to OSHA. Write them down in a letter, a formal letter, sign it, and bring that letter to OSHA and tell them what happened. And they're going to have to pay you. They let you go, they're going to have to pop you off. Because you can't fire me because I couldn't come to work because my son had cancer and you already approved me to go visit him.
I will say this, though. Did you stop praying?
Never.
Is little Nate alive today?
He's well. But listen to me again. We're not talking about my son being well.
Right.
We're talking about what you went through. The experience, the 11 years that I've been through, it was unnecessary with the right information. That's what I'm talking about. The 11 years of my son dealing with that and me going back and forth, I'm saying 11, but it's more like 9.5, 10. It's unnecessary if when I go talk to OG say, yeah, you working on a plan now. See what type of insurance they got. Okay, you know you qualify for this insurance for 18 months after your release date. So even if it ain't, write a letter and go bring it to OSHA and get a lawsuit. It's saying your son needs certain type of care and you need to be there. The company provides a certain level of insurance that would allow you to be there and still get paid and maintain your lifestyle.
So do you fault OG for not knowing?
No, I fault the entire system. I fault everyone involved for thinking that doing a little bit is just enough. Even myself. Because I'm an astute person. I'd already worked in a plant and
that's why I was getting at. A lot of us don't know because we don't search.
We don't search, but and that's why I'm going from different angles of this. I'm going from different angles with this for that reason. Because, of course, my son is here, but you know, homie's son not here had the same cancer my son had. You feel me? And I ain't gonna name him. We'll talk about it after. But, you know what I'm saying? His son passed away within 6 months of getting diagnosed with this thing. Osteosarcoma. rare cancer of the lung and bone in children. And it's like, yo, I cried. Like, and I haven't talked to them dude yet. When I see him, I'm gonna share a drink with him because when I go to town, I do get to see him. I will, but it's like I cried. I sat holding my phone with real tears, and I could uncontrollably cry because in my mind, that's my son. And then my son got re-diagnosed, and we had to deal with it. But it's talking about just like now I have the knowledge necessary. So when young man come to me saying I'm dealing with this, I can say, hey, move like this. I beat child support 3 different times, and I like to say beat it because it didn't beat me. But ultimately, I came off child support 3 different times, and I take care of my children. I'm deaf to them. But it's like saying, if nobody tells you how to proceed, you're going to make a poor decision. And a consequence of your own decision, a series of decisions that everybody has to make. But with no guidance there, I take all the fathers, I take all the uncles, I take all the leadership out of your community and leave you with pimping pastors. That's all they are. What you going to get out of that? He don't know what to do. He don't have plans at his church to tell you, hey, y'all young men graduating from high school, go get your OSHA, go get your TWIC, go sign up to be this type of helper, this type of worker. In 2 years, go get your heavy equipment operating license. I've yet to go to a church that tells you this.
All right, so my church currently tells you all that. You know what I'm saying?
That's your daddy.
No, I'm not talking about.
Oh, you talking about you on here?
I'm talking about out here in Houston.
Respect.
But I look at it different because so when I excellent. When I started going to the church I go to now, I go to
Check your time, bro. Check your time.
I'm good. We flowing. I go to Living Word Fellowship Church. It's in Houston on TC Justin. I can't give you the number and address because I just for some reason I can't never remember it. But when I first stepped foot in there, I was invited by some lady. We was at a get together by Tamika House, and we was playing spades. And I told the lady I'm trying to find me a church home out here. I made the statement in general, and she heard me, and she long story short, she sent me that way.
But yo,
Yeah, she put me on, and I went there. And when I first stepped foot in the church, my first thought was, oh, this one of the mega churches that we always be talking about back home, like my dad and them talking about, like 4 guys, because it was a big church.
Right.
And I'm used to my pop's church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm used to everybody know everybody in everybody's business. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to that small country hometown-ish type church. You know what I'm saying? So when I went there with premeditated thoughts.
Right.
But I stayed the whole service. I heard Pastor Cannons speak. And he spoke well enough for me to say, I'm coming back next Sunday, bro.
Yeah.
Because I never heard a man speak. I never heard a preacher speak in a manner of professorism, if that makes sense. He didn't speak to us as, I don't want to say us, he didn't speak to me as a pastor. He spoke more to me as his sermon came off as he was a professor, like he was teaching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't drill a Bible, he talked about it. Right. But what he did do was he didn't talk out of it. He talked from it, if that makes sense. He didn't take a scripture. Yeah, he didn't take a scripture and give his own interpretation of it. He spoke the scripture as in whatever it said in the Bible, that's how he defined it. You know what I'm saying? So I came back the next Sunday and I was more intrigued. Okay, it's not just come to church and pay tithes. It's, man, come here and get busy, get involved. You know what I'm saying?
Build it up.
We have media ministry, drama ministry, prayer ministry. We got all these different event decor ministry. You know what I'm saying? All kind of ministries.
Yeah.
Not just for you, but for your children. Because we don't want your children coming here and not having nothing to do. Because if they come here, An idle mind is the devil workshop.
All right, let's wrap this up. Was you like a pastor?
No,
Give me that
no,
church
no.
information again.
No, Living Word Fellowship Church.
And you can't think of the address.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to find, I can Google it right here. You can store in your line.
But I don't know. I'm not about to be long-winded.
Okay, because you talk like your dad.
But what I'm saying is that stop. Don't play with Ralph Malone.
I'm playing with you.
And what I'm saying is, I was used to church one way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know Sister Jessie. She messy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody got a sister Jessie?
Yeah, she big. Well, rest in peace. She was big messy. You know what I'm saying?
Big messy.
I know they about to talk about how my daddy hooped and holler. I know we about to get on the gay cry directly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was in church, but I wasn't really involved in church. Not that my dad was outside looking. Yeah, not that my pops was preaching the wrong messages, but that's my pops. I know y'all know Ram Malone. I know Roosevelt Malone Jr.
You got the message all week.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So so when I got here, they start. Hey, we got financial. We got a financial event this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna have truck drivers. We gonna have IT techs. We gonna have all these people here. Next Sunday after church, we got this job fair where we gonna have all these people here. Like every Sunday, it was something in the summer. Don't just sit at the house. We're not just gonna show you. We're not trying to take your money. We're not taking your money and pass the ride around in the Bentley and in the Benz. Nah, pass the ride around in a Buick. You know what I'm saying? But the church.
These are nice cars.
Listen to what I'm saying. The church, your money is going to the church. The church is building for your children.
In a different program.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
And you can identify it's identifying that church that's healthy for your family and finding that place. And I like people. I try to think myself, and I'm working on it. Is take the religion out of your church thought. Take the whole thought of religion out of the whole process of going to church. Church allows. It's something that's put together so people can be controlled by a certain set of rules. What I'm talking about is the community that your church creates. That's what you're going to church for. The fact that now my children can get involved. They don't feel like they're just being drugged here early Sunday,
Right.
every Sunday.
I could honestly say that my children's if my children were to stay in Texas, make their own family, you know what I'm saying? They children could go to that church, and that church, I bet I put my life on that church will still be thriving.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's not that they're looking out for you. They're looking out for you and the generations.
Whole family.
Yeah,
whole family health. So now I want to respect the time you did give me. We're at that time. I don't want your wife upset that you come through, bro. And we're gonna keep doing it. Like I said, we look like this. 2 months from now, it might be a whole different layout and setup, but we're aiming to create a network.
Hold up, though.
Before we go, what's your time limit? Because again, your wife ain't gonna be sitting around here mad at me.
She love you though. You know what I'm saying?
Loving you and mad at me is two different things.
She love Dana, your wife. You know what I'm saying? We good.
My wife mad at me, man. What are you talking?
Wife always mad at you.
No, she not. She love me, boy.
But she do that. I do want to piggyback off the emotional, the making emotional decisions topic. I did want to talk about the humor and harmony event that 50 Cent had and the issue that Hurricane Chris has with 50 Cent.
I think that's an emotional decision that Hurricane Chris has created.
Correct.
Because
that's how I feel.
And don't nobody want to hear it like this, but you could have reached out to 50 before the event.
You could have called him.
You could have reached out and said, yo, I see you coming to the city. I got pull out you. I don't want no beef with you. How about you hire some of these young boys to play security?
Hold on. I don't even look at that.
Yeah.
I look at it as, so I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But my thing is this. If your city has this stigma about it already.
Your city
that you don't own land in, like, let me take that back, because I don't know if you own or not. You know what I'm saying? I agree.
Ratchet.
Yeah. But your so-called city, who you feel 50 Cent should have called you or talked to somebody about getting the young people involved in security and whatnot, because you feel played that he paid the city of Shreveport police $500,000 to police.
And that probably was a percentage of their annual GDP. That probably was like 25%
Bro, but my thing
of
is
what they
this.
about to make.
If you telling me he could have paid you or your people that amount of money and y'all would have kept the city safe, then you telling me what I hear is you don't give a care about your city
Unless it's about a dollar.
unless it's about $1.
Because you're in your city right now and it ain't safe.
And it ain't safe.
Anybody got sense from Louisiana, don't go to Shreveport and move. Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I got situational awareness and environmental awareness. So certain things I'm going to see when I pull up to a gas station gonna let me know where I'm at.
No,
Right?
he said that 50 Cent pulled the wool over everybody's eyes, basically, saying that, man, y'all only messing with him because he came down here. Y'all fool. He only down here because the land cheap.
I
My
watched
thing is
it.
this,
Why wouldn't I go where the land cheap at?
But dog, I watch Shreveport dudes on video flashing stacks and stacks. The same cheap land 50 Cent bought. Them dudes on the video with the
Hurricane
racks
Chris
get apart.
was on 15, 20 years ago. I don't know when. When he had his paper, he was most likely unintelligible. Cool. Probably wasn't smart enough to do the right thing. But as far as networking connections, he still has that. So whatever, as a mature adult man, he's thinking he wants to do for his city, he should be doing that without a 50 Cent coming to buy a studio. So when 50 Cent comes to your city, it's not that, oh, I'm thinking about including other artists. No, I know if I don't include these artists, I won't be able to function in that city.
If I had so-called motion in my city, 50 Cent wouldn't have to. I wouldn't have to make a video about 50 not reaching out to me.
We would already be working together because when he got here, he would have been anxious to get in the studio or get in the office or the boardroom with me because he sees how I've already leveraged my city to bring it out of a certain place.
So I look at it as if you cared about your city, you would have kept your mouth closed and not even make that statement. You said
if you cared about your city, you would have scheduled a private meeting with 50 Cent to talk about the next event. Because he bought the land, meaning he gonna be there and there's gonna be some more stuff going down.
If you cared about your city, it wouldn't have took 50 Cent to come there and make motion like that. You would already have some type of motion going on in the group.
Hurricane Chris is like most of these young black men, and it's not a knock to him or a knock to them. It's just saying they don't know what they don't know, and they have no idea what it is to own something. So when you're talking about ownership, his beef was that 50 Cent did all of that out of his own pocket. That's the whole thing. He did it all out of his own pocket. It was all his money that he put it up the front to make this event happen. Well, he had to make that kind of money to make it happen, for one. But for two, that means that he has the ability to do it again.
Well, I feel like his beef was, in a nutshell,
He think he a legend.
50 did all this and didn't include you.
Hurricane Chris ain't no legend.
And that's what his thing was. You ain't include no Louisiana legends. Boy, he had Master P perform.
I don't keep track with most of this hip hop stuff no more. Yeah. Honestly, that whole
Master P had the longest set on stage.
That's all he needed. But think about this also. Yeah. Think about this also, Hurricane Chris. I'm 50 Cent. You ain't even close to my level. So when I call if I'm calling a Louisiana artist, I gotta call a Louisiana president, a boss. I gotta call a Louisiana boss. Yeah. Like, so I don't think about this. I wouldn't expect nobody but Birdman, Boosie, and Master P. There's nobody else 50 Cent can tell me he's bringing to an event he's running because of his type of pulling clout. You seen his numbers off his concert? That world tour he did?
Master P? He killed
50. P numbers was crazy. But 50 numbers was stupid. And he bought Busta Rhymes. We'll talk about that next week. He bought Busta Rhymes on his tour. Busta Rhymes said, I never made this much money in my life.
And he was doing $1 million videos before people was doing it.
My thing is, Busta Rhymes, you were performing old ass music. This man got you paid top billing $50 million. You get $5 million a night type. Like, think about it like this. And I'm exaggerating a little bit because that's how I feel, but If you give me the opportunity to be in the building, that's all I need. So if I'm Buster, I got a merch table at every concert. I'm making extra money because I have products. Scan my QR code, go to my site.
You giving me the opportunity, it's on me to flourish in it.
If I'm Hurricane Chris and I know this event is coming to my city, instead of sitting around waiting for somebody to reach out to me, I have now qualified to be a vendor. I've applied to be a vendor, and now I'm at your event as a vendor with different products.
But not just that. His whole his statement was wrong because you said he didn't hit up like no legends from Louisiana, no local artists. Well, they saying that hey, the people from Shreveport is in the comments saying, bro, you tripping. They had a local event for the artists under the bridge across the street from some club or whatever called the G Spot.
You just out the loop.
You just out the loop.
You
ain't
out
got
the
no
loop,
motion
and
right
you
now.
trying to sit up. And I even see when you shot the video. You shot the video at somebody park under a gazebo. You most likely sitting in the park smoking. Got pissed off. Said, "Let me go live talk about this nigga." Excuse my language. I try my best not to say that word public. What? Think about it. Instead of finding ways to be an entrepreneur and create opportunity, you're looking for beef to start with somebody who could crush you.
Trying to go viral off some BS.
You trying to go viral off somebody who could literally crush you with a phone call.
Could crush you and could help you.
Could crush you and help you.
But you choose
Change your whole family life. Whole Shreveport is for sale. Let's be real. You could go buy up like a good 30% of Shreveport right now.
Acres 50 cent bought?
50.
And look, the crazy part is,
stop guessing. We got the internet. We don't have to guess.
The crazy part is, you're upset about the fact that he did this event in your city, and you felt like you and some artist he named Big Bo, Big some dude. I ain't never heard of them. No disrespect to them, you know what I'm saying? But I never heard of them. And my ear is to the streets. You see what I'm saying? So you feel played that you weren't included. However, you spreading all these lies and rumors. Bro, have you talked to the local business owners? Because I saw video of how they said it was amazing, no violence, no nothing, like nothing negative occurred, and we made money.
Bruh. You ain't never heard of it outside of a rodeo or trail ride of an event going down in Shreveport. Think about something. Tell me something.
Everything I heard from Shreveport, somebody getting smashed.
Somebody got killed. There was a high-speed police chase. The state troopers are under investigation for murdering a man on the side of the road right outside of Shreveport. Like this is the news I know of Shreveport. So for you to be an entrepreneur and take interest in my small town, because guess what? Even if you bought the land for cheap and you about to exploit it, anybody who come in there has to come from somewhere else. Because you're not making the money off of Shreveport residents. They don't have the revenue to support you with a recording studio or video studio or nothing. So you're bringing outside money to a place that needs it. And the person from there that should be appreciating it the most and trying to plug itself in, trying to get in where you fit in, is trying to start beef. I don't respect it. I don't respect it.
I'm gonna end it right here, but I look at it like this. I feel like that was disrespectful to the people who own businesses out there. Because I have yet to hear.
What's Hurricane? You know Hurricane Chris' real name? Hey, baby.
That might be it. But I feel like it's disrespectful to the business owners out there, big and small. Because I have yet to hear them say something negative about the event. Everything I've heard from a business owner standpoint is that
he just bought the acres for the studio. He bought other properties downtown.
50 Cent purchases several downtown properties.
50 Cent is liable to own most of Shreveport by the end of 2025.
Hurricane Chris, I will say this, my brother. Take your money.
What money?
Whatever money you getting, whatever money your partners out there getting, hustling, take that money. My dog, I'm about to let Nate talk in about a couple seconds. He gonna give y'all some financial advice. He probably gonna talk about putting your money in the trust because he drill that into me all the time.
$2 million in
You see what I'm saying? Take that money, bro, and invest in the properties. Don't talk bad about somebody who taking advantage of the system. Because not to make it a black or white thing, But I guarantee you, I ain't never heard you say nothing about the Asians, the Chinese. Chinese?
The Arabs who
The
came up
Arab-
after Katrina and bought up the whole canal street.
I never heard you speak out about none of them who buying up all the property out there needed. And if you know anything about Louisiana, you know what they say, 30% Louisiana is owned by China.
Hey, the only people that own nothing is Black Americans.
Come on, I've been start repping.
All the people hurting to figure it out and hoping somebody put them on is Black Americans. Ain't nobody else looking for help.
I've been stop saying stuff like my city, my hood. That ain't mine. I don't own nothing out
Not
there.
a dime or a nickel, not a piece of
You know
that
what I'm
land.
saying?
Anywhere I go is where I stand. And I'm gonna tell you the one thing most people don't acknowledge is that this whole world is ours. And so wherever you go, you're supposed to reign and dominate and be able to create presidents in your position. Like you're not supposed to say, "Oh, because I'm from New Orleans, you know, I'm a dog. Everybody know me around here. I hold it." No, okay, I hear you. I hear you.
On a grain of sand in New Orleans.
A grain of sand.
If you ask me where I'm from, I'm gonna tell you where I'm from, but I'm not gonna never tell you what's mine, because what's mine is mine. And
So
New Orleans ain't mine.
and this is and I'll time it, and I'll do this in less than 5 minutes.
Hold on, let me, because this segment needs its own introduction, because I feel like, granted, we just starting out. This is I don't want to say our first episode, but this is an episode number 2. You know what I'm saying? We're still in the editing process. We're still trying to get things done. You probably won't even hear this part, but what you will hear is
We still haven't decided on the seating arrangement.
this dude here be trying to put me in this 1972. I don't even want to say this 1942 kitchen chair with the
It's good for your posture, though. You see how my back is? I've been supported the whole time I've been sitting
with
here.
the Woolworth cushion. With the Woolworth cushion. See,
I couldn't see myself throwing the cushion away.
Hold on, dog. Stand up, big dog. Because they got to see this, dog. They got to see it. Dog, I'm like 270. I'm 270. Look at this boy trying to make me sick. Boy, this shit come from Proust.
No, this is a very expensive seat. This is a very expensive chair.
Man, the chair is expensive.
You know,
This look like something at the old church. This looks like come off a church pew.
These chair seats, these covers, I don't know where they come from. I don't even know where they come from.
I know if I sit there long enough, my butt won't go hurt.
See how I just doubled up the mat? Oh, it just made everything so much better.
Yeah, but
That's called resourcefulness.
after an hour and 28 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all my leg hurts. We're working on it, man. We're gonna get there. It's gonna be nice. Like in this studio space, what I want to do, what I really
get
want.
proper seat, we will switch seats.
I'm gonna wind up with like maybe a round chair or something. Like you can sit 4 or 5 people that could have a group conversation.
A sofa. That's why in the wintertime,
I don't like the sofa idea because I don't want to be that close to somebody.
you ain't gotta be that close. I got section.
Elbow to elbow.
No. Section.
All right, financial literacy. Let's get it going.
So this segment of the podcast, I would like to dedicate to financial literacy. Better to talk about financial literacy other than the world-renowned, the myth, the legend, the man himself, Mr. soon-to-be Dr. Nathan L. Brown.
I'm write you intro. I actually have credentials. I actually have a resume, and I'm actually a licensed and insured financial professional.
Try my best, big dog. You just got so many. I just couldn't think.
Let me say it like this: a licensed, insured, ethical financial professional. Because quite often you're running into people who aren't ethical, right? And they'll tell you anything because you know what? They got to pay a check. Their family got to eat. I infiltrated, but that's a podcast for another day. We're going to name that podcast Infiltration. This one's going to be just talking about the base of understanding that never in the time in history that we know have we had this much freedom to earn. Not just earn, but to learn what we need to do to make the right decisions with our finances. I'm going to say these things that people may not like and they may not agree with, but I promise you I'll beat them in any debate. Your 401k is a subpar retirement situation because it's not an income for life and it puts your retirement at risk.
Let them know, because I hear it all the time.
Your 401k is a subpar retirement vehicle because it is not an income for life and it does not protect from market risk. Your investment, your retirement fund, the income you plan to live on is literally at risk. You say, well, what's the alternative? IRA? Your investment retirement account is not a retirement account because it's not an income for life most times. You can situate it to be if you move the money over to an annuity at a certain age point. It's saying as young as possible, start taking control of your money. Life insurance as we think it and know it has nothing to do with the real use of life insurance. We think it's about, oh, Momo died, we got to check. Oh boy died, we got to check. It's about understanding how to insure your entire life. Every dollar you're working for, everything you're going to go get, you should be able to keep. There's no reason to be taxed on every dollar you make and earn everywhere you go. We are the only group of people that pay taxes on every dollar that moves in the way we do.
I do have one question.
That's
I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but I always felt like if, let's say this is a car, and I'm the original purchaser, is that a word?
Yeah.
Of this car. Why every time this car gets sold, it's a tax implemented on the same car that was already taxed previously?
because pimping ain't easy, it's necessary. That's all I'm saying. Like, we're literally being pimped in so many ways. And if you're from the hood, you know what pimping look like. You know what exploitation feel like. But think about it on a larger scale. If I got you thinking you the smart one, you the smart one in the family. Oh, he gonna do well. He gonna go to college. He gonna make us proud, right? But now you don't got a job. You did what you're supposed to do. You stuck at that job. You went to college. You did what you're supposed to do. You stuck in some debt. You ain't got a family. You did what you're supposed to do. I'm not gonna say stuck, but you're obligated to a certain level of responsibility that comes with a financial price tag. It comes with a price tag. So health issues, mental issues, family issues, they're going to happen, but that doesn't change the fact that you're responsible for these financial obligations. But when are you most free with your money? It's usually when you first start working. You don't have no kids. You know what I'm saying? You probably still live with your parents, but you also don't know what to do with the money. So the idea is to start teaching as young as possible how to own money. And if I start at 18, putting 10 to 20% of my income into an account that I own the money, by the time I'm 30, and if I do this consistently, don't trip. I never have to work again.
I saw not the I want you to keep going on the same topic, but just to add to, I saw my supervisor sent me a video.
Yeah.
I just recently was promoted to intern supervisor.
Congratulations, my dog. You ain't intern, you the next.
Lord willing, yes, Lord. But he always sent me these motivational videos. And he sent me a video of a guy who was 18 years old and he was in the military. He cut hair on the side, but he wanted to be a millionaire by the time he retired from the military. So what he said was he downloaded the Acorns app and he went to researching the information given on the Acorns app. So he looked up and he said, okay, if I put $100 in, how long will it take me to be a millionaire with my $100 investment every month? They told him he would be a millionaire by the time he retired at 63. 63. He said, that's too long. He said, okay, what if I do $200? He said when he did the $200, the system kicked back and told him, basically it showed him on the chart where he would be a millionaire. 50, 49. You know what I'm saying? You see, I can do that math in my head. Yeah. So he says, you know what? That's too long. 18. He said, I was in the military, but I cut hair on the side. He said the money I would make cutting hair would equal, I would average $3,000 minimum cutting hair. So he said, you know what? I said, how much, well, how long would it take me to be a millionaire if I put $3,000 in my A-Funds investment? 14 years. 11 years. The man said, did that. He said, in 11 years, a little bit earlier than that, he said he was a millionaire. He said, then the hate came because now I'm in the military and I'm riding nice cars. Man, he this rank. How can he afford the things that he's walking around and driving? He says, you know what? After my second investment, because all of a sudden I didn't like to be told to do push-ups. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I got to keep you needing money so you can come here and do this work for me. Because if you figured out that at 18, coming out your parents' house with no responsibility, you can allocate your money into a mutual company life insurance policy and use 100% of the money after 3 years, you only have to wait 3 years. Understanding that every dollar you put there, you now own for life and will be paid for life. And when we're talking about paid for, I'm talking about two different types of payments. One is going to be compounded interest. Your compounded interest rate is going to be set in stone. It's going to be, this is the contract we signed. This is what you're going to get. We're still giving over 3%. Right now it's about 3.6. But on top of the 3.6, which don't sound like nothing to a baller, I know, there's dividend distribution. And the dividend distribution this year was 5.8. 5.8 is the average distribution of your 401k. Meaning some years it gives you less, some years it gives you more. It averages out to 5.8. But this company's just doing that just because.
Question: when you do receive that dividend, do you? I think the smart thing would be
Choose.
to reinvest it, right?
Well, that's how it compounds. We let it compound into the account until you choose to use it. We don't send you a bill or a check because the idea is to not pay taxes on this money. So we don't want to pay taxes on this money. So we want to keep this money in a place where it's continually growing and we're getting the most out of the money. But it's not just saying I put the money up and when I'm old, I'm going to have some money. No. Brown Associates Consulting is dedicated to people helping people acquire assets. We're an asset management company. So the idea is that the same resources that you're saving for and utilizing to prepare for retirement, we're going to show you how to use those 3 or 4 years from now. Because I wanted to accumulate, to go buy assets that cash flow you more money. Why would you wait till you're 65, you're 40, 35, you're waiting till you're 65 to access this money when we have a system that works very well where you can access the money now and buy rental properties, buy strip malls, buy institutional investments I feel are the best. But ultimately, do you know about real estate investment trusts? While you're saving up $50,000 to go try to buy a house to fix and flip, you can take this money and set it into a real estate investment trust that pays you dividends monthly.
Hold on.
It's just strategy that we implement.
I have a real close friend.
What am I?
Real close.
Am I fake close?
Nah, he's just a little closer than you, though. You know what I'm saying?
Black.
Yeah, that's my dog. His name is Shannon. He from New Orleans, but he moved to Las Vegas. He been doing real estate in Las Vegas for the past, I want to say 8, 10 plus years now.
Yeah.
But man, he sold one of John Gotti's home.
Let me just say, wait, I know you're about to tell me something. Let me tell you.
Hold on, listen. I would like for us to interview him.
All right, well, let me say what I'm saying. You cut me off and tell me about somebody you want to interview. You tell me that off camera. What I'm trying to tell you is that all of these industries are supposed to work in concert. They're supposed to work together. So your real estate, your banking, your life insurance, all of this stuff is supposed to work together towards your family's financial system, right? So when you talk about implementing the trust, people keep talking about funding the trust. The trust can own assets that it earns money off of. But a properly funded trust is just a trust with a life insurance policy that's overfunded. Meaning when I need to go buy something, I leverage my money instead of spending it. I don't leverage, meaning I use it to say, hey, look what I got. Look what I got. Right? Give me this much money.
He said him and his family just started a trust.
But that's a blessing. That's a blessing in understanding that these life insurance policies just need to be written in a special way. And that special way allows you to overpay. To overpay. And I know what it's on. Why would I overpay? I'm trying to keep my money. No. I'm trying to give this company as much money as I can afford to give them, and my family's still eating and the light's still on, because I understand that they're going to pay me 9+% every year on the money, and I can turn right back around and take and use the money. But now that I've put it into their system, it's tax-free money. You don't pay taxes on loans. So I'm going to loan myself the money, loan my business entity the money to go purchase the real estate, to go make the investment.
What you mean by you don't pay taxes on loans?
Oh, God.
Reiterate on that right quick.
Okay, so you don't pay taxes on credit. You don't pay taxes on loans, and because it's something you owe, it's a debt. You don't pay taxes on debt. So this is just a loan, any type of loan.
The loan the money you borrowing from yourself.
Look, you're not even borrowing this money for yourself. You just put your money in a leverage position and it turns to OPM, right? So they're seeing your balance. They're leveraging it off your life expectancy. So you're saying, like I got a client right now, $250,000 cash value. That sounds like something to somebody, but I promise you that's nothing to most people who use the system, because that's like the entry level. But she takes all the money out. I know it's by the advice of her husband, because he thinks I'm scamming or something, right? You get all the money. It comes to you. It's in your account. Hey, you got your money. Then she gets on the phone. Well, I need to do policy reviews. Boo, boo, boo. When I got to put the money back? Oh, you don't never have to put the money back if you don't want to, because it's going to earn interest and dividend while it's sitting there, even though you're using it, and it's your money. So a lot of this stuff is nuanced, but the reason why you're not paying taxes is because you don't pay taxes on loans or credit. So now you've loaned yourself. You've turned your money into a credit system, and you're not paying taxes on that. Matter of fact, because we used it through a business entity, it's now a business expense. It's 100% write-off. So not only have I created a tax mitigating system, I've also created a system where the government is going to send me a tax return. They're going to send me money that I spent from money that I had, that loan myself. So this is where we go back to the strategy part. And I know it's confusing. That's why I tell people to set consultations, because everybody's situation is different.
I would like to expound on the fact that not only are you borrowing, you're not paying taxes on the loan, but the government will pay you. Because a lot of people don't understand that. They hear this and it's new information, but they don't understand that this is what they have been doing. This is what's been,
why you're wondering why you're working next to someone. And I'll say one thing is, most of the young white men, or the white men, not even young, like our age, that's in these systems, they don't know how these systems work. If they're not working for the company, like I'm working for the companies and moving the policies, they don't know what's going on. They just know that their family has a financial system that they benefit from, right? And when they're old enough, hopefully their parents have a journal. That's why I tell my clients, always start a journal. Because if you pass away unexpectedly, you don't have time to tell your child, hey, I got $150,000 over here, I got $750 over there, I got $1.5 million in insurance over here, and this is what I want you to do with it so that you can always have and be wealthy. You write it down. Don't just put it in a trust, put it in a personal financial journal. The trust is going to allocate your resources. That personal journal is going to give directions, right? And it's intellectual property. So, like I said, it's getting beyond the life and death insurance. It's getting into the actual use of money, the movement of money, understanding it, how to leverage it, but also how to skip the line, how to go further faster, right? And part of that is understanding we come from New Orleans. Everybody I know from New Orleans got a hustle about it. It's only two people I know come from New Orleans. People that's about that work and people that's about that bullshit. So yeah, I don't know too many in between people. I know people that straight on, they might be working, they might make money, but they're on that bullshit.
I think the in between is the 9 to 5s.
Nah, I don't even think that. I think they still fall into one of those categories, because we got 9 to 5s that bullshit their whole check, that live to drink and go to the casino. They live for it. I had a consultation with a young man. I never mentioned his name.
Yeah.
About a year ago, and he got on the phone telling me he didn't put his retirement plan together. He didn't really have nothing together. He had a kid, an ex-wife, but he wanted to put something together. And then when I went to asking him questions about his finances, he exposed that, he had a gambling habit. And I said, well, if you can't allocate this money in a guaranteed manner or move over lump sums every year, you're wasting your resources. He didn't like that response because I know I'm supposed to be a salesman and tell you, oh, yeah, you can afford it. Just sign right here and get the policy. The truth is, bro, you got to have it. And unless you're about to commit to this, you just giving your money away because that habit is going to eat you alive. Gambling and drinking, these two habits right here will eat you alive.
Because you ain't budgeting for it first.
You can't budget for drinking or gambling.
Second of all, it's an expense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a topic. That's a topic for another.
That's another day. We write this stuff down. And I know I said a lot. I hope somebody took it from me. It's just saying getting started and then having those family meetings annually. If you got a lot of business going on, your family might need to meet twice a year. Every quarter, y'all might have to meet. But if you're just putting it together, at least meet once a year and set them down. I do public trainings, I do private trainings, I do public speaking. I go on vacation with families at times and sit down with them, and it'll be 4 hours a day we'll schedule, but we might only talk for 2 hours. Because your son, who's in college, who likes to play ball, and your daughter, who likes to dance, and your nephew over there, who you raised also, who likes to make clothes, they need to be able to sit down and understand the function of the business behind all those things they like to do and how that's going to add to the family's wealth. And they don't do that getting it from you because you don't know. So you hire someone, you schedule it, you hire Mr. Brown from Brown and Associates Consulting. I come in and we have one-on-ones. What's your goals? What do you think your dad do for money? How much money do you think your family have? Well, how are you going to make sure your family keeps money? Do you understand family banking? What do you like to buy? How much does that cost? What are you going to do to always afford that? Like questions that seem like nothing, but they spark a mind like saying, yo, I'm looking at this wrong. You keep thinking about what you can do with your hands when you need to be thinking about what you can do with your brain. How many people can I put to work versus how much work can I do as an individual? And once I put them to work, I want to hire a policy just like I hired them. I'm going to pay this policy like I pay an employee. The difference is this employee is going to give me 100% of my money back plus compounded interest for the rest of my life. And I can access their income after 3 years 100% tax-free. I only say the 3-year mark for people who aren't going to overpay. But if you overpay, you can open an account today and access your money right after the account is approved to do what you need to do. So you don't have to wait. It's strategy, right? So I said a lot. Hopefully I said something that helps someone and impacts someone, but ultimately it's not a one conversation thing. It's a learning lesson because these things I'm talking about change over time. Every year they put out new financial rules. And when I was air traffic controller in the Navy, they did that. Every 6 months they put out new flight rules, whole new manual just because they changed one section on page 234, right? But the financial rules are the same way. That's why your capital gains tax changes every year. That's why your interest rates on your loans change so often. When they were talking about the Fed raising interest rates and the interest rates and inflation, that is an unvoted for tax on your money to keep the economy lower. That's what it is. No, a lot of people don't understand that. They don't know that. No, we're charging you more for this stuff to keep you all in a certain financial place. Because if I kept the prices what they were, you're going to make more money because the economy's growing. You might not come to work. Like you were saying, your boy, like you just talk about your boy, like I don't like being told to do a push-up. Well, if I know I got a business that's making me $30,000 a month because I developed it 10 years ago and just worked on it a little bit, I'm not coming to your job. I'm not coming there to be talked to crazy. I'm not coming there when I don't feel good. It's hard to make me work if I don't need to.
You 41 years old, I'm 43. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never saw a time where the economy, what, far as income goes, went back down.
Boy, I paid $4 for a head of cabbage.
Everything goes up.
$4 for a head of cabbage. But my thing is,
back down.
the cost of living go up, but the wages don't go up. The information don't go up. The classroom structure doesn't change to teach what's required so people can maintain and keep up with what's going on.
But it goes back to what I said in the beginning when we were talking about medicine and things of that nature, right? Is I can't afford for all y'all to be hip to what's going on because
who do you think started the school system?
My point exactly.
Who do you think structured the school system? Because I need more workers to work these factories that I'm building then I need bosses knowing how to quantify.
Right.
So I've been to college and I've been to the Navy, and I've done things in college and the Navy that are like I'm like, so I've been to the college and the Navy, and the one thing I noticed in both of them, they do not teach you how to quantify your work ethic. They do not teach you how to charge for what you know how to do. They tell you what the mean salary is for an air traffic controller, but they never tell you what it actually costs or what you would charge somebody for your air traffic controlling services. They teach you what the mean salary is for an engineer, but they never tell you how to charge as an engineer. Say, hey, I'm gonna do this engineering service for you. It's gonna cost you this much, and this is your ticket, right?
But you know why, though, huh?
Oh, I know why.
Explain why.
Because I need you to be a worker, not a thinker. I need you to show up. I don't need you to know how to price.
Because if you get paid the same thing I paid, what's the use of me getting paid the same thing?
The thing is, the system is ran by middlemen. And who writes the contract is who controls the money. Usually the man writing the contract isn't the technician on the tools. So technician on his tools, and that's why I was telling you with this business, and you said something that's profound, and obviously I'm going to go take it to my therapist, and I'm going to sit and think about it. He said, maybe you got married for the wrong reasons. I know I got married for the right reasons. It was just the concept of saying, I need a partner that's going to compliment me, right?
Hold up, I don't want you to expound on it.
Okay, that's another show.
Because that's another show.
Yeah, yeah. But that's all I'm saying. It's like saying, if I'm in business and I'm the technician and I got to go get on my tools, you see my hand, I'm chipped up out here, right? I don't also have the capacity, even though if I know how to do it, I'm smart enough to do it, obviously. I don't have the capacity to then be the person sitting at the desk finding new work, making sure the paperwork's right, making sure we qualify for grants, making sure that we're getting the like that's why teamwork is so important and vital. In any business, I don't care what the business, what the product, what the service is, you need at least two people. One person that can do the job really well, and one person that can connect with people and network with people. Because why are you on the job in that $1 billion contract call? Are you supposed to come, jump out your harness, jump off your tools, and hurry up and catch this phone call? I done missed some nice, not $1 billion, but I done missed some phone calls being in the plant with poor signal.
Yeah, but it'll work better if you had somebody in place to accept that phone call.
Exactly. To say, I don't never miss a phone call because my phone calls go to this person who works my logistics in my office, and that's all they do, and we split the money. And that's every business. I was saying it about insurance. But before it was insurance, I was always a handyman. I've been handyman 15 years. You know what I'm saying? It was music. Same thing with the music. And I noticed, like, I know how to make beats, I know how to produce. But it's very difficult to say, let me put my producer hat on, and in the same session, let me take my producer hat off, and now let me be the rapper. No, I might have to put this shit down and come back to this beat 2 weeks later and just be a rapper.
Because you exerted so much energy into creating
It's a different mindset.
Yeah, it's a different mindset.
The artist, the technician, and even the technician, I look at it as art. Like when you're working with your tools, it's like an art. Like you're in Zen mode. You're just doing your thing, making it work, making sure it's levered, making sure that it's stable, making sure it's firm. You're supposed to turn that mind off and then turn the analytical mind on to make sure the numbers right, make sure they paid you on time. I got somebody around the corner from me right now that ain't paid me. And I know they ain't right. They know they ain't right. But I ain't tripping. Because I'm going to pull up on your house. You live in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to sit outside your house and say, hey, where my money at? Right?
I pull up like that, big dog.
If they don't pay me by Tuesday, I'm going to be outside their house on Wednesday. And I'm going to take their gator loose. I'm going to take it off the hinges and put it in the back of my BMW.
For the fence you just hooked up?
Oh, that thing flying, too. I passed by that thing still brand new. But this is my thing. This is my thing about a lot of this. And we can wrap it. This is my thing about a lot of this. Who's protecting your interests? It ain't the police. They're glorified tax collectors. You know what I'm saying? So if we don't have an organization, a Brown and Associates Consulting, that you can call and say, this is the problem I'm having with my accountant. Can you help me with it? And I say, yeah, give me his address and his phone number. We get it handled. You know what I'm saying? If you're saying this person jacked me and robbed me and this is what I thought about when the people jacked me. I said, damn, I really have nobody I can call to go get my damn money. So you got to create an organization that can go get that money, that can stand up for that hard worker, that can stand up for that business owner that is attempting to build for their family. Because the police ain't there to do that for you. The bank ain't there for you to do that. The government ain't there to do that for you. So I'll leave it there, but I'm going to say this. Stop working for money and take some time and learn to make that money work for you. Because you ain't got to work too damn long if you know how to make money work for you. You work long enough. Like I just learned this stuff a couple years ago. So, but I promise you, like I'm almost retired based off of what I know. I'm just waiting for like 2, 3 more licks. And I mean licks. Like the way I work and the way I move is licks. It's saying I'm gonna get a contract that's gonna pay me 50 racks. That 50 racks gonna go into a system, and that system is gonna allow me to sit back. Right? But that's the concept we're not taught in public school. You're not taught to make things work for you. You're taught to go to work.
So the world needs employees.
The world needs employees. Let's wrap it, boy. You gotta go. We way over our limit. I appreciate you. We're gonna edit this down. We're gonna do better next time. And I'm gonna come your way so that we can mix it up a little bit. But
Now you ain't coming my way till the summertime, but we don't got no ventilation.
well, you said the winter. Yeah, we have.
I mean in the wintertime, yeah.
I live in air conditioning. Like I'm about to put an air conditioning unit in my garage. I'm about to insulate and put an air conditioning unit in my garage. I got this ceiling fan I'm gonna put up. Well, what happens is I'm gonna build a garden in my backyard and cover it and put an AC in it.
I ain't doing none of that shit.
I like outside, but I don't like that like that. You know what I'm talking about?
The summer home will be cool.
Okay.
October.
Well, we'll do it. Like I said, we'll move that way. We appreciate everyone who listened. I apologize for posture issues and head now can't see the face, whatever it might be. But we're building a network. So though this is one of our pilot shows or one of our anchoring shows, we'll have other shows and other presentations coming in the future. Might just be a kid talent show. I think I want to do something like that where the kids get up and sing all their little songs.
You've joined the Nathan Boogie podcast.
Hey, I got nothing but ideas for you, bro.
Jesus.
Bro, my children ride around the grocery store singing. Talk about beans and bologna.
Nah, I'm good.
All I hear.
After day.
Yeah, my little baby was in the grocery store dancing.
Yeah, I'm trying to show activities. It will be hand-picked. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody child get up here and does horrible, then they gonna be, why y'all let my baby get up there sounding like you let your baby get up there? You let your baby get up there. It sounds like a broke crackerjack.
Well, another one I have is like children athletes. I highlight the children doing their different sports and their different, talking about what they like about the sport.
A whole show that
Yeah, we can do it different. They make it a network, man. You don't have to just be Nathan Boogie. I don't aspire to just be Nathan Boogie running like we run it. We can build a network off of it and make $2.
We gonna be the new Tubi TV.
Hey man, Tubi's so fucking fun. I don't care what you
Hey,
say.
well, I saw somebody get shot on Tubi at 9 o'clock and the bullet ain't hit him till 9:04.
Really? Jason Weaver threw a bullet around a tree and shot a lady on Tubi.
Name Boogie Podcast. We'll see you on the next one.